I feel too small in this frame. Hold on. It's messing with my model, and now I'm in the wrong place. There we go. This is better. Hi. That was more feral than I thought I was going to be when I started this stream. I'm not really sure what to do about that. Anyway, hi gamers. I don't know where that came from. I'm really sleepy. And also bored. I don't feel like playing Minecraft by myself, so I figured I'd start streaming, and then at least I'm playing Minecraft with the illusion of people. It's like body doubling, but not, and yet is. I should test my hold on, I have to test mix it up. I knew I was forgetting something. Let's test it. Let's see if it's working. Okay, it's working. I love Rumi. Okay, now I'm too tall in my frame. What is this? What has happened? Where was I placed originally? Oh, I'm gonna spend all stream rearranging my VTuber. That's annoying. Anyway, the game's already open. I'm already in the game. I've already been playing for an hour. You know how it is. Can I just like shuffle myself that way? Okay. Not too far that way. There we go. I'm probably in the exact same place I was before. Anyway, I play Minecraft. I love Minecraft. We're in my modded world. Is it gonna? Here it is! Oh. You ever just get distracted by your own shaders? Look at that shit. That shit's so pretty. Anyway, last time we fucked around in the Twilight Forest. I did end up beating the Urghast. Unfortunately, my stream died as I was doing it. So I didn't get that on stream, but I did do it. I did beat the Urghast. My stream just died at a really inconvenient time. Where did I? Ooh, Thornrose. I also went to see the giants. I think I've defeated all the bosses now. So that's neat. I have all these trophies. I'm not really sure what to do with them, honestly. Maybe I'll make like a display at some point. I don't know. But look, I've got a bunch of giant blocks. I don't know what to do with those either, but I have them now. Ha ha ha. What I want to do is I have the chestplate and the hat. I want leggings and boots. That's what my goal is. I forgot what my end goal is, guys. My end goal right now is to get the enchanting shit in this game set and going. I'm very excited about it. The enchantment industry had a huge update like a while ago. I'm not 100% sure when it was, but they had a big update. I'm keeping that curse of conductivity. I want that curse of conductivity. For reasons. But yeah, no. It had a huge update, and now there's like a bunch of stuff. That is not very specific, I'm aware. But it's cool as fuck, and I would like to explain. Oh, also, that's what I was doing for the hour. I put this in. This is a cute little readout that tells me exactly how full this guy is. Right now it's that full. So once it hits to here, I will build the next one, just so we don't get full up. And when it does get full up, I can just set this guy to only send packages. and then this will still function as a storage, but stuff won't go in it. So that way I can make sure that it doesn't continue to become full up. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. Anyway, I wanna see if I have enough fiery tears to make. Oh, I don't. I need like a couple more. I need 4 more to make the shoes. Damn, but I do have these now. So that's something. They don't have Swift Sneak though, so I'm not gonna wear them right now. I'm probably gonna keep them in my backpack, and then when I want to use them, when I'm like fighting something, I will use them. Cause that's you know, that makes shit easier, doesn't it? Same with this really. Cause also these are really good because they've got featherfall. I wonder, because the feather falling on these boots is built in. Like, these boots always just come with feather falling, but I wonder, basically, Enchantment Industry adds a thing where you can, like, strip enchantments from an item. And I do wonder whether I can strip the enchantments from a piece of armor that, like, comes pre-applied with the enchant. You know what I mean? I want to know if that's a thing I can do. Also, it's fucking raining. Except it isn't, because it doesn't rain up here, but it still plays the noises, which I'm a little bummed about. I made it so it only rains, below the cloud layer. Because that's sick. Is that not sick? I think that's sick. Anywho. Oh, there's like thoughts in my head, but none of them are fully formed. You know what? I don't know about why all the lava here has disappeared. There used to be, you see how this is like completely covered in lava? Yeah, this also used to be completely covered in lava, and now it's like gone. And I don't know what happened to it. Because this isn't connected to the lava pool in any way, shape, or form. So, hold on. This used to be all the way up here. What? Oh. That might explain something. Wait, has this thing been draining the lava this whole time? Oh my god, am I gonna have to refill the lava? Are you kidding me? Please say no. Please say no. Where's the hose? Where is it? Is this supply still considered infinite? What? The fuck? What do you mean? Why are you eating the beans then? Oh, what the fuck? Hold on, this needs to be remedied immediately. I need to get this to go all the way down to the bottom. I need a crank. I remember why I wasn't wearing elytra a second ago. Where'd I put my crank? I should really have a crank attached to that permanently, because you might— oh, maybe this is to do with when I moved this. This island didn't used to be at this height. It used to be a lot lower down, and then I moved it up. I wonder, is that moving it up? That's moving it up. Okay, let's move it down. I wonder whether that has anything to do with this incident. That is weird though, because those things should not be connected. Maybe, since this supply is considered infinite, I can pull lava from it whenever I feel like. So what I might do is I might make it... I think I have it set that I can put lava in. There we go. That's at the bottom now. I've made it so I can put in lava. Yeah, look at that. As high as I want. So I might I want to have hose pulleys like all the way around. So I might make it so that when I put the next hose in, it actually takes lava from this one and puts it in like to top the lava back up again. I don't know. Yeah, see, I could do that here quite easily. I need to actually hold on. This thing, there's no space for it to go down. Oh, that's because it's attached to this fucker. Uh-oh. Oh, I should leave that one there. Let's leave that one there. Let's put this down. I'm not actually sure how down it needs to go. If I do this, can I still... No. Oh, that's not down enough at all. We'll just do this for a minute. We're listening to Minecraft music, by the way, because I just kind of want to chill out, honestly. I'm in that kind of mood. Just want... I love Minecraft music, it's so chill. No thoughts, head empty. I'm having one of those days where my brain is just like full of bees. So I'm hoping if I play the Minecraft music, there's no lyrics, none of that, it's just noise. But like enough noise so that it's not just like in my brain. You know? You probably don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest. Oh wait, have I done the hole? I might not dug the hole. We should have to see if this suddenly stops. Because if it suddenly stops way sooner... Ah! I don't think there's a hole in here. There is not. In the slightest. Okay. In that case... I may have to go down there and like deal with that. I think what I'll do is I'll grab some like sand or gravel or something out of... Oh, I'm wearing my elytra. Okay, I was wondering why I was doing that. Out of... I'm sleeping, this rain's annoying. Oh, this is one of the new ones. I was wondering why I didn't recognize it. Who did this one? There's a bunch of different people doing the music now. Who is this one by? Amos Roddy. I wish it wouldn't show Minecraft before their name. Like... No. Minecraft did not make this. Amos made this for Minecraft. Minecraft should be the last name on that credits list, but okay, whatever. That's fine. Just list Minecraft as the name. See, look at it up here. I also, I did cheat a little bit, okay? I cheated a little bit. I changed the biome here to mushroom fields. It has no effect on anything except the grass and the sky color. Okay? It's, I think, the same temperature biome as the one I was in. I'll have to double check that because I don't think I thought about that. Except the sky was really gross. Like, if I go over here, is there still some of this biome left over here? Volcanic crater. That's what the biome used to be. Oh. Right. Okay. That did not go as planned. Let's try that again, shall we? go up here. Look at my island. Isn't it cute? My goodness. And well, yeah, if we head over here, it's this volcanic crater biome. This is mushroom fields. This is volcanic crater. Look at how gross that sky is. Uh-oh. I appear to have lavaed myself. Whoops. Hold on. Yeah, look at how gross that sky is. Revolting. Disgusting. And I know I could have used the Tree of Transformation and done it in like a not cheaty way. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't like the sky of that biome either. That makes the sky all dark permanently, and I'm not a fan. Just because it's a Twilight Forest biome, I just want a blue sky. Is that too much to ask? Apparently. So anyway, this is a Mushroom Fields biome now, and I will not stand to hear any nonsense about it, okay? Sometimes you could cheat into a single player game, and that's okay. That's okay. This isn't a speedrun. It's not verified. I don't give a fuck. If I want the sky to look pretty and blue by changing the biome to a mushroom fields, then so fucking be it. I'll do that. No one can stop me. What the fuck was I doing? I was getting gravel. That's what I was doing. Gravel. Gravel. Here we go. Why do I have so much of it? Is it not getting used? I guess it's not getting used particularly. Why is the Moderates app using so much disk space? A little lame and uncomfortable. Kinda wish it wouldn't. It's fine. I've got plenty of room. My head is empty. I keep getting distracted by things that aren't the thing I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. Ow! That hurt. And I only have myself to blame. I want to go down there. I should go down there. At some point I should put the lava back. Or at least find a way to put the lava back. I'm not really sure how to go about doing that, to be honest, in a way that looks like the lava was when it was lava. Because there was so much lava here, and it's all, like, disappeared. It's, like, stopped. This is definitely the result of my hoses doing hose things that they weren't supposed to. Oh, that's the... Which hole is the one where it's stuck? It's this one, okay. Let's head over here then. Yeah, this lava stopped flowing. That's really weird. Okay, maybe I can reflow the lava at some point then. If I just do this, I don't think I should be messing up any source blocks. If I am, I can deal with that later. Okay, now I can dig the hole. I might die to lava if I do this. Hold on, I should unequip my elytra because that'll make it easier to get out. Oh! The beans! Oh, I got my toes burnt a little bit, but it's okay. My toes are a little toasty. I'm also gonna get rid of this fucking scaffolding block. This is a hangover from when I was setting all this up and I didn't have a jetpack yet. This can go. Ow! Fuck. At some point, oh, look at my arms in the air. That's kind of funny. I need to get some netherite so I can make some netherite diving gear. That would be really nice. And then I wouldn't keep ending up... I'm not using my durability on this. I'm using my fucking elytra like a civilized individual. There we go. Hi, clouds. Oh, see, isn't that fucking sick? Hangover? That's hot. Hi. It's not a hangover alcohol. It's the metaphorical kind of hangover. I think. I don't know how to describe that phrase. Actually, I'm not sure how to describe that phrase. Simply hangover from a thing. Hello. How are you? Is that going down? That is going down. Okay, cool. Oh, I do not have a hangover. I do not really drink. Not because, like, I don't like it or anything, but because if I was gonna drink, it'd be a social thing, and I don't really have people to drink with, honestly. We're not a getting drunk particularly sort of friend group, I guess. This is an odd conversation. Okay, now that's too far up. That should be correct. Lies? In your house of God? What do you mean? I'm not a liar. I'm so normal. If we that should now be placing beans. It is not. Why isn't it? Do I need to disconnect this? I'll fucking do it. But being popular isn't all that great. It's not that I'm unpopular. I have... Ow. I've got mates. They're just not the sort of mates I get drunk with very often, I guess. Is that still working? Okay. Based, actually. Didn't expect that to function that way. I kind of don't want it to, though. What if I swivel this so it's the other way? There we go, that's disconnected that. With minimal issues, except that I got beans all over myself. But that's fine. Sometimes... You know what? Sometimes you get covered in beans. That's okay. Now we're filling up. There we fucking go. Yes, mate. Do I still have the config on where it'll just keep filling up? I wonder. I'm glad that it's still counted as a whatever the fuck. Ow. Oh. I forget that my jetpack still works while I'm astral projecting. You wouldn't complain about being covered in beans? That's fair. I might complain. Mostly because that sounds a little like slimy, and I don't like being grubby. I don't like being covered in slime. It's not a vibe I deal with. Never put me on one of those. What am I pumping? I am pumping lava. I've done a little funny thing. This is basically I'm duplicating lava right now. This hose here is pumping from the bottom of this lake. This lake is so deep that that the game considers it an infinite source of lava. And then the second hose is topping up the lava with itself. So it's going in a big loop. Lava comes up here, goes over there, and then comes out here to top this all the way up. Because at some point, something broke and it sucked up all the lava here. I'm not happy about it. Ow! So yeah. Infinite lava. This is drawing the lava up and then it's sending it over here to this pump. Lost me at lava, that's so real, honestly. Yeah, no, it's pumping. Oh, are you finished pumping? Have you decided that that's infinite now? No, it's still going. Okay. It's doing its thing, I guess. I'm not entirely sure I remember how the lava's getting in there. Oh. Lava's coming from here up and into this tank, and then it's going back down. Yes. Basically, when the lava's getting pumped up, it doesn't drain the lake because the hose thinks the lake lasts forever. So essentially, this thing's just making lava out of nowhere. Because it's decided that there's an infinite amount of lava. Except this one over here does not think that the lava is infinite and is therefore putting the lava blocks back into the pit. So the pit is getting bigger. It's a little fucked up. I think it's funny. It has no purpose. This thing already thinks that the lava is infinite. There is no point to topping the lava back up. I just like the idea of the pit being full. Brings me joy. I wonder if I can make infinite honey pool. I'm essentially making lava out of nothing. Look how pretty it is out here. It's so pretty. Wow. Yeah. What do I need to do? Okay, I have... Oh, I was gonna expand the cobble farm. That's what I needed to do. How is this thing doing? You noticed the vista earlier? It's so cool, especially with the lights. Oh my god. What? Oh, I'm not wearing my shoes. Gotta put my good shoes on. Okay, this thing's full of gravel, which is good. And it is filling up on sand, which it shouldn't be able to do. How are you doing that? You should have the infinite sand. How are you full up? What if I do this? Will you stop filling up? Is it generating sand quicker than it's getting? How is there blue glazed terracotta in there? When did this happen? I'm not questioning that, actually. Okay, so all the gravel right now is going into making sand. This thing is pretty backed up. I think I need to make a second set of crushing wheels. That's easy done. Let's work on that real quick. Yeah, basically the plan for today is just, I'm just gonna fuck around with my factory and chill out. That's it, that's all we're doing. We're just playing factory. I love it. 10 out of 10. Do I need chutes? No, I don't. I do need some andesite alloy though. And tunnel shaft. Alloy. Oh, I think I already grabbed some, but that's fine. We have the belts. I don't need all this gravel anymore. Or this couple of blocks of basalt and blackstone either. You can go in there. Scaffolding can go away. Don't need gravel bricks. That was just for setting up item filters. What else do I need? You. And you. To make the... This is the fake song. Oh, I don't want this here. That's coming out of the playlist, I think. That's just the disc. That's coming out of the playlist, okay. I'm also gonna make this louder because this... Music is really quiet in comparison to the stuff I normally play. Okay. Wheel. I want a wheel. Wheel. Got the alloy. Bang, 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 bang. And the wood. Bang, 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 bang. And the stone. Bosh. Wheels. Let's fucking go. Did I put any iron squish? No, I needed to squish some iron. Let's squish some iron while we're here. At some point, I need to start doing that automatically. Oh, I gotta clear out the villages. Shit. I haven't done that yet. Fuck. They're probably so full of iron. Oh no. That's fine. And then we add bish bash. This gets extended this way. I need this to do that so that the stuff doesn't escape off the end. Where are my shafts? Here they are. I did not want to do that, but that's fine. Hello, like Spike, my beloved. I think I'm gonna need more. Belts. Oh no, I just have enough. Excellent. I would like a single piece of gravel, please. I did not pick it up. Shame. Oh wait, I can grab it from here. That's a lot of gravel that I didn't want in my hands, but that's fine. Ah! Why am I lagging so much suddenly? Modern Zap, what are you doing, bro? Stop! Closing you down. You don't deserve to be awake. That was rude. I'm sorry, Modern Zap. Well, Himbo messaged me. I'll have to message him back later. I'm streaming right now. Now that should split. Or what is it doing? Yeah, it's splitting the gravel between the two. So now this is keeping up. Or it will be in a minute. That's a lot of gravel there. Jeez. Do I need to redistribute this stuff? I may need to redistribute this stuff. Oh, fuck, that's a lot of gravel. Okay, we're redistributing. So at least if they're both working overtime, they're at least splitting the difference. Do I need to shut this down for a second so it can keep up? That can be now this is too loud. Minecraft, pick your volume, please. My god. Let's shut this down for a minute. Just so that these can catch up. Okay, they're working through it. Oh, there we go. I think it's because that one's enchanted. Maybe I should unenchant those ones. There we go. Okay, now it's graveling again. Yeah, okay, maybe these ones are too quick because they're, if I remove this. Remove those, and then I can, just... I'm sure I have a grindstone down here somewhere. I can just remove the enchantments. Here we go, let's just... There we go. Oh my god, the frame rate down here sucks! Okay, that's fine. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Bink bonk. Pops that back. There we go. Cool. How is that doing now? Better. It's not getting backed up, which means I can probably add... Are any of these getting backed up? No, they're both keeping up. So... I think I can add more cobble generators back here. So let's do that, actually. That's why I wanted the... more of the... sheets. I remember now. Make 2 of these, and then we'll head down here and get those sheets I put on to squish. Here we go. I'll replace those now. Lovely. And then I've got a crafting table here. We'll make 2 whisks. 2 cogwheels. And now we have 2 mixers, and then I just need to grab buckets that I don't have on me right now. Where are my fucking buckets? I've put them away. Here there. Bucket. Drink some water. Poison bug. How do I make a poison bug? Huh. Neat. Oh yeah, actually, how's this doing? Filled right up to the top. Great. Okay, I can safely then... We can remove this. Swap that round. And now the lava's going back into all my machines again. Lovely! Great! So that is lovely and full. Oh, and now this machine can work again. Doesn't have... Don't know if... Look what this guy... It's full of gravel. Has it decided it's full? Oh. Hey, go, boss. Why aren't you doing anything? Why? Full of gravel, but no flint. No. Oh, there is gravel getting washed here. It's nuggets here. We're just waiting on... Oh! Oh, it's full. Okay. Oh, I might make that... Okay. I see what the problem is. I might just take all of those out. Cool. Let's just get all these out. There we go. Now stuff's happening. This guy just got full up. Yeah, well, it happens. Fuck. That's a lot of nuggies. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's craft these up into ingots and pop them in our storage. And the rest of them... Could just carry these on me, actually. Yeah, let's just do that. Cool, okay, that's sorted that machine out. Oh, I bet that's why we have such a surplus of gravel in here. could explain things. Okay, let's... Oh, shit, I ran out of... Where's my seaweed? Kelp. I only have 21 cooked kelp left. Do I not have any more kelp? Oh, I bet I haven't... Oh, I haven't harvested it in a while. Is this not looking like there's any kelp in here, is it? Oh, I think I used it all. Dang. Okay. Belts are expensive. Let's just turn the rest of these into belts. Wow, that's not a lot of belts. And then I can go grab more kelp in a minute. I wanna pop. Up. Oh, I need more lava and water than that. We'll start this one up then. And we'll go get more. Whee! Bosh. Bosh. Put the... Hi! Welcome. How are you? You're simply chilling right now. I'm alright. We're just chilling on the Minecraft. Building funky little machines. I'm expanding my cobblestone farm. Oh yeah. Best mod ever. Oh, now this is kind of slowing down a bit. Okay. What mod pack is this? This is a mod pack of my own creation. Because I'm a little goblin and I like making little mods. No, it is not Skyblock. I just like being high up. There is ground down there. I just... This is my own little mod pack that I've made. I used to put it in my about me, but I don't think I've updated that in ages. I think the mod pack in there's an old one. I don't think I've ever played a pre-made mod pack. I always just make my own little ones. I just put all my favorite shit in there and see if it runs. It's great. Top 10 things to do for fun. It's just make silly little mod packs. Oh, how's my chicken farm doing? Not great. This chicken farm sucks. The package and vaults? Oh yeah! I love the package and the vaults. They're actually fairly simple once you get the hang of it. I don't know if there's more complicated things you can do with it, but it's such a nice storage system. It's all just connected. This thing is all just, it's like chain spam. That's surreal, actually. That's surreal. Honestly, simple as fuck. Anytime you make a machine, stick a vault on there, fucking packager, frog, and then a stock link, and then it all links up to the system. That's like it. And then to get in the system, you just want a stock ticker with a blaze boy in front. This is Mr. Froggy. He eats all my packages. That is essentially the basics of it. Just those three things. And then this is linked up to this whole system. As long as the frogs have a way to get the package to a place, I don't give a shit. Packages, they're clever buggers. Yeah. Yeah. Box package frog. Frog always sits on top of a packager. These are the really clever things. This, you just want to put one of these on your packager. That'll start up a system. And then once you've started a system, if I take this guy off and find another frog port, you gonna follow me? Oh, hell yeah! Thank you very much! Literally, and then you right-click on a guy, then this guy goes all enchanted, because they're all linked up now. And then when you put it on the packager, they're all connected to the same network. That's it. That's it. This is the really close. This is the bit I'm proud of, is my little input output area. Because this guy here isn't linked up to the system. Because he has a sign on him, because this packager has a sign on it, anything I write on the sign, that's the, oh, that's so real. That's where you gotta start from though, is Cobble Generator. If you put a label on the packager, then the packages that come out the packager will have that label. So every box that comes out of this guy is labeled main storage. And this frog is also called main storage, so they look for this frog. And all that happens is when I put stuff in this vault through this thing, because this is powered, anything that's in here gets turned into a package. And all the packages just know to go over there. Input output. Big brain moves. I'm the local person who knows about create shit within my friend group. IQ, it's high up. Yeah. This is what I dropped out of college for, is to learn this shit. Can't do fucking redstone though. This is the limits of my knowledge. Math, nah. Knowledge of create. No, I'm okay with maths. I can't do... You know what's fucked up? When I used to do maths in school, I was really good at all of the, like, calculator papers with the really difficult problems on them. That shit was easy. You know which paper I really struggle with? The fucking non-calculator paper where they're just asking you to, like, do your times tables. I fucking suck at it. I suck ass at that. Problem solving, though, I'm good with that shit. Safe to say, I did not get the Rayman autism where you can know all your times tables. That was... I did not get that one. I got the create mod autism instead. You know what? It's so fine, because I can build this shit. What was I doing? I'm sure I was doing something. Create mod autism. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Uh-oh. Oh. I may have been overzealous in the amount of cobblestone I could put in the machine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where's the wheels? Where are my wheels? I have to make more wheels. You can leave school, become a create knowledger. I mean... Hey, if you get really good at it, Twitch might even pay you. Create rules running the opposite side. Yeah, they're running fine. It's just there's not enough of them. So... I gotta add more. Are these ones doing okay? These ones are doing okay. There's just not enough of bitches here. That's fine. I can just add this. Just because I put more cobblestone generators in and now the wheels can't keep up. Poor wheels. I'm working them to the within an inch of their life. Min-maxing my wheelage. Sometimes I just say things. It comes out of my mouth, I'm like, that You're just saying words now. ADHD? Are you asking what it is, or are you asking if I have it? I do have ADHD. How could you tell? I talk a lot of shit. Alright, look, I maintain the what am I maintaining? I say these words and then I begin a sentence and then I don't plan out the end of it. And sometimes it doesn't go my way. I've not had enough coffee. That's my problem. Or maybe I've had too much coffee. Normal. I'm so normal pilled. What am I making? The gremlin noises. That's me desperately trying to have a coherent thought process. Don't you know my Twitch brand is talking shit and making weird noises? Yeah. What is... Ah, there's a thing on my foot. What is that? Oh, it's a seed. Oh, it's a sharp seed. Ow. This is what I get for walking in the garden barefoot earlier. Punished for my hubris. Just think if the cats can walk around barefoot, then I should be able to help. I should be able to too. What am I doing? I'm sanding. I'm sanding my rose quartz. This is the best addition ever. Fucking bulk sanding. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's incredible. Never again will I need to make fucking sandpaper. God, I hate sandpaper. I can't wait until I figure out how to farm redstone and I can just make infinite little square boys. What am I doing? Yeah! It's great! It's like 2 mods adding that. There's one mod that just adds the sanding thing. I think that's Dreams and Desires that adds that, but Create Connected adds these little, like, catalyst blocks. Oh, Create add-on. The amount of Create add-ons I have in this mod pack. Oh my god. Anytime I make a mod pack, it ends up being 90% Create add-ons. I just really like them. So, over here. Normally, I'd have to build a little container for this lava so it didn't escape. But no! It's already in a container! It's in its own little container! So is this! In its own little container! Safe from the world! Look at that. It's great. I love it. Same with the water as well. I can make a bunch of those too. They're very useful. I love them. They're my favorite. It's one of my favorite. Create Connected. It's one of my must-have add-ons. I could not live without it. There's some of those in every single one. It also adds these things. Inverse gear shift, parallel gearbox. Oh my god, so many things that mod adds, and all of them are bangers. That that mod does not miss. Everything it adds is a hit. These little blocks that just extend the inventory by 1 block. 10 out of 10. Great. Why am I hungry? I ran out of soup again? Oh my god. I don't believe this. Let's go to my soup bowl full of soup. No food, yeah. It's okay. I have this little thing working overtime, making me soup. Chicken noodle. Chicken noodle soup. Soup. Soup for lemon. Yay! Soup. Soup, soup. I need more chicken. I'll be okay for now. Here we go. My backpack feeds me. But I've got it set so that it only feeds me chicken soup. So sometimes I get hungry. Oh well, look at the stars on the glass. Oh, hello, space. Wow, so pretty. What was I doing before I got hungry? I'm sure I was doing something. Oh, here we go. Brass tunnel, my beloved. I need some cobblestone for the filter. I have cobblestone. Oh, that's so real, actually. Hold on, let me see if I can... Let me open up Modrinth. Let me see if I can get the export for this one that I've made. Real quick. Because, I mean, it works on my computer. I mean, obviously... Yeah, I got Modrinth. All the best gamers have Modrinth. Export mod pack, here we go. Usually go Cursed. I'm not a fan of CurseForge. I don't remember why, though. I know there's a reason why. I'm not a fan of it. And people ask me, why don't you like CurseForge? And I'm like, I know there's a reason, but I don't remember what it is. Could be anything. Could be any reason at all. I don't remember. I do love Modrinth, so a lot of things are moving over to Modrinth, so I do like... I like it. Let me... Mediafire. Here we go. Let me, upload files. This is not a trial account. Where's my account? What? I had a account. Where do I log in? Log out? What? Log in? Oh, there it is. Okay. Just because it's a forge and not a wrench. Easy lost account. No, it's okay. I found it. I found the account. It's okay. Nah. That's not the reason. God, my poor Mediafire thing is just so unorganized. So many things in here, none of them are organized. Okay, where's my fucking Twitch page so I can update my little thingy? What am I looking up? I'm looking up Twitch! Oh my god. The goblins in my brain. Bzz, that's the noise they're making. Bees, not goblins. Gremlins? They have lots of names. Posture check. I'm not actually shrimped. I'm actually doing quite well for once. Unshrimped. Shrimpant. Shrimpant. Hydrate. Okay. Oh, baby, I'm so fucking hydrated. My water tastes weird. Drink water. Yeah. Let me edit my panels. Let's swap the link out. Where's my Mediafire link? Oh god. Oh, it's still uploading. Okay, we'll give it time. Okay, that's uploading. You British? Yeah. Yeah, boy. I am in fact British. British! Get made fun of it constantly. Portuguese, ooh. Oh. Like rocks. They're still not happy rocks, are they? They're working on it. They are kind of struggling a bit, actually. Oh, wait. Something's happened. Why is this stopped? For what reason? 2 days after it's Tuesday, yeah. You're so right. My rocks. Today is Sunday. It is! You're so correct. You ever just throw up all over the thing? Yeah. Egg. There we go. Now it's schmovin'. Now stuff's happening. Excellent. I am tempted to turn this off temporarily to let it all catch up, actually. Sound like Dave from Box vs. Zombies. I don't know whether to be insulted or not. That's kind of funny. I don't mind being Dave from Plants vs. Zombies. That guy is crazy. Oh, I love Plants vs. Zombies. I forgot about that game. Every now and then I remember it exists, and I think about it. Crazy Dave, my beloved. Okay. We have more stones getting cobbled. Which is good. Play Garden Warfare 2. Oh, I always wanted that game, but I never had the right console for it. Always wanted to have one of the Garden Warfare games, but I never had the right. I think it was Xbox. PC? There's a PC version? Oh my god, wait a fucking second. Oh, I'm getting that. Oh, baby. I want that now. Oh, that's... I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, like, I don't know why I never checked, to be honest. Machines. We have more cobblestone going through. That's good. More cobbles. I want to get into create enchantment industry, but it's there in long years. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I never checked. I think I always just assumed... I think actually I was a baby. Streams are basically Garden Warfare 2. Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. Maybe I'll check that shit out. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, create enchantment industry. Where is it? Asphalt. I wonder what the purpose is of asphalt. Gear motor. Ooh. Different kinds of... What the fuck is a Stirling engine for? A hydraulic press? What do I even use that for? How does it work? I'll have to check that out. Maybe I'll mess around with it in creative a little bit. Oh, that's all the pipe organ stuff. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Ah, here we go. Enchantment industry. Experience hatch, experience lantern, blah 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 blah. Printer. That prints books. I know that much. This is a printer. Thanks. You did the nuclear reactor with everything automated. I wish, actually. I wish I was that fast. Unfortunately, I get... Oh, GG package pattern. Ooh. I get distracted very easily. So I will have, like, half a nuclear reactor. Like 3 machines automated, another 6 machines. Yeah. Some of these mods add like package patterns. Like where? So the little cardboard box, these are the default ones. But apparently there are rare ones. Nah, fake. And see, here we go. Rare package. You could get a axolotl package, cardboard package, just like all the colors, I guess. Do any other mods add any? Or is it just that one? No, I saw more. Don't lie to me. I saw more packages. They didn't want me to lose focus on things. I've become distracted again by the packages. Where was the other ones? I'm absolutely certain there are two more that I'm not seeing here. Oh, here they are. There's a Blaze package and a Marble Gate package. I don't know what that is. Page 8. Yeah, these ones. Page 8? Oh yeah, no, I'd already seen these ones. I knew there were more than just those ones. So I guess I can get rare packages with that thing. So that just prints books. What does this guy do? Functions like an enchanting table. Okay. And he'll just randomly... Oh, he'll enchant enchanting templates. Oh, okay. I can automate the generation of enchantments. So instead of using villagers, I could set up this guy and just have him enchanting until I have them all. Needed a cave of enchanting, super enchanting mode. Can now produce treasure enchantments. Okay, so stuff... Blaze enchanting cake. What? Oh no. Okay. And he can be automated with a mechanical arm. Okay, so he basically enchants shit. What about this guy? He's the anvil. Liquid experience to activate it. Merchant wait, hold on. Like an anvil but with no repair costs. Okay, so you can merge the enchantments to 2 items. You can merge enchanting templates. And he can apply them to items. And he can strip enchantment from a book or equipment or anything to a template. Okay. So... Oh? Do 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 do. Conflicting enchantments. Oh my god, this text moves way too fast. Made exclusively processes implies super enchanting templates, and we need a lightning rod. nearby. And it can cause lightning strikes. Wait, so they need sky access? Automated with a mechanical arm. This also is not connecting. Am I back? I think I'm back. Did I get the IP right? Oh, 183. I did not get the IP right. Hold on, my VTuber model stopped working on account of the fact that the internet fucking died. As it does! God, I hate the internet where I live. Fuck. This is also down, so we will have to restart, mix it up. Bear with me, guys. My internet does this like once a stream. I am back. I am back. I apologize for the downtime. Sometimes my Wi-Fi just cuts out of nowhere. I don't know why it does that. Other than that, it's like really good Wi-Fi. It just stops suddenly, and I don't know why. It's okay though. I'm back though. I've returned from the dead. We are restarting Mix It Up. Lovely. Let me just refresh it on here. Okay. I'm back. Okay, I think I figured out what the process is. Yeah, I've just switched to one of the other, we've got like 2 extenders and the main Wi-Fi in my house. So usually I connect via one extender, but instead I've switched to the main Wi-Fi for now, and hopefully that'll be okay. A lot of the time it's a little bit less stable is the thing, but it should be fine, I'm hoping. Anyway, I figured out what the process is, I think. Basically, you get a thing with an enchantment. You could use this guy, or you could just find the enchantment naturally. You then take the enchantment off of the item and onto one of these using this guy. Then you can merge these guys with more of these guys. So you can put 2 of these together with different enchant, kind of like enchanted books. So then you make one of these that has all the enchantments you want, and then you can just put one of these, use this guy to combine this thing with your item you want, and then your item's enchanted. I think. How do I make these? You literally just squish A block of XP. Yeah, poof, items enchanted. I need lapis. This thing. Okay, I need some way of getting lots of XP to start with. I think the way I'm probably gonna do that... It does look tasty, doesn't it? I kind of wish I could eat it. It does look kind of delicious. So I need a way of getting renewable experience. I need renewable... Are you gonna make it in real life? Oh my god, actually. A blue and green cake. That'd be kind of sick. I need renewable hold on, I need to write this down. There's no mob spawner for XP. That's true, that's true. The way I would do it, is actually quartz. Nether quartz gives a lot of XP when you crush it. Hold on, there's probably other ways of doing this as well. There are. There's a bunch of things you can crush for XP nuggets. I can crush these are renewable. This is actually renewable. That's guaranteed 8 experience per. I think that's how we get our renewable lapis as well as these guys. Prismarine is renewable with this mod pack. Yeah, any ore will give you XP nuggets. Yeah, quartz is probably the easiest thing to get. Actually, but I think I'm gonna go the Heart of the Sea route. Which is this one. 5 ender to Heart of the Sea. Okay, how do we automate this then? You can conduit an Eye of Ender into it, and then this. Okay. Oh, look at that. Seizing catalyst sale. Interesting. 2 netherite scrap. Okay, I think actually this is the way to go because I think this doesn't require constant blaze cakes. I want this. Okay, right. Okay, first of all, let me make a fucking... Fascinating crabs. What is that? Fascinating crabs. I like the name of it, whatever it is. Paper. Clipboard. Here we go. Oh my god! Hi, Squiddy! Thank you for the sub! What the fuck? You've driven for 6 hours? You're in pain? Oh no, Squiddy. You've been awake since 3:30 a.m.? What time is it for you right now? Oh, Squiddy. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I need... Oh no, that's not good. Renewable lapis. Crush Heart of Sea. Renewable XP. Crush Heart of Sea. What else do I need? Great. What else do I need? Oh shit, you're moving today, aren't you? Oh fuck. My condolences. Damn. Oh right, because I need to make these, don't I? Need sugar and eggs. Sugar. Egg. Can't twitch and drive. No, you can't twitch and drive. You should not be twitching and driving. Why are you twitching and driving? Do not twitch and drive. Okay, we want Heart of the Sea Farm. Heart of Sea Farm, which requires Eye of Ender Farm, which requires Ender Pearl Farm. That's just a Enderman farm. I don't know how we get the pearls to the overworld easily. That's a problem for another time. Just need to drive, still learning the driving. Oh, that's real. I attempted to learn how to drive and it did not go well. I'm gonna try again once I actually treat my ADHD. It did not end well. I was not good at it. I need a seething fan catalyst. Seething fan sale, which means what was that mod that added that? What was it? Dreams of Desire. Yeah. These are cool. 4 blaze cakes. Easy enough. Burner stock, which is 2 netherite scrap. Netherite. 4 blaze cake. And then some other stuff. This one. And I also need the blasting catalyst cell, which is literally frames, lava, and cardboard. I already have all this, so I can make those easily. It's honestly just a netherite I really need. Okay, let's start working on this list. 4 blaze cakes. Blaze cakes. How are we gonna go about making ourselves a blaze cake? Lava and a blaze cake base, we need sugar, cinder flour, which is made by crushing netherrack, I believe. Yes. Do I have any netherrack? I do. Okay, we'll crush that now. I do have a spout kicking around somewhere. Let's just go and... There we go, crush that. There's flint in here. Cinder flour, lovely. We need eggs and sugar. I don't know if I have any eggs. Egg. No. Okay. Interesting. I do, however, have a chicken farm. So if we just, like, break that for a bit, these guys will give us eggy weggies in a while. See, there we go. Egg already. 2 eggs already. Okay, cool. That might be enough, actually. Won't reconnect this just yet. Should you put in Cobblemon or not? Honestly, fuck it. Am I right? Go for it. You want to play Cobblemon? Play some fucking Cobblemon. Chuck that shit in there. Who gives a fuck? Slap some shit together. See if it works. It's my favorite thing to do. Sugar, sugar, sugar. I do have some sugar. Lovely. Okay. So we need to... Oh, I don't remember. We need 4 blaze cakes. I think this is only enough for 1. PC only has 8 gigs of RAM. Okay, in that case, maybe don't. Maybe restrain yourself slightly more than me. I don't know, it might be fine. Honestly, it's up to you. Why can't I get out? Where didn't I have a stair set up for this guy? I'm sneezing! What? Where'd the eggs and the sugar go? Oh, they ended up in my pocket? Why are they in my pockets? The fuck? Okay. Bish bosh. Go! Why is nothing happening? Oh! I need a presser! It's a presser recipe! Fuck. Shit. Oh, I did do that, didn't I? Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, let me get this guy. Oh, there's water here? When did I do that? Oh my god. I'm losing it. I'm losing it! It's fine. Okay, he gets to be heated. And then I make a basin for this guy. Bish bash bosh. Now we're getting blaze cakes. Why'd you make a sugar cube? I didn't want a sugar cube. Putting a filter on this thing so it stops doing that. I need more eggs. Let's see if we got any more eggs. That's the wrong teleport. Lemon house. Did I get any more eggy wiggies? Yes. Okay, I can probably reconnect this now. Okay. Whoops. Okay. We're good. We're winning. I'm a winner, baby. Wah 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 wah. Wah. It's just like the game mode switcher, because I have cheats on. Life's more fun if you leave the cheats on. You know, who said you had to use them? Since when did I put this guy here? Surely I could pop him here and he'd still work. Yeah, he'd still work. Not really. Cheats on, yeah. Look. This is what happens. Fake? I'm stealing lava from a volcano. Yes. Actually, not really. We got a infinite lava source under here that I made. That's where I'm really taking the lava from. I have cheats on because sometimes when you're playing modded games, shit happens and shit breaks and then you have to fix it. And also sometimes I get bored and I just want to be finished with the thing. Stealing from a volcano. It's not. I stole it from the fake too? What's fake? I'm not fake. Look, no one said this was like a verified speedrun playthrough. I ain't trying to win any awards, I'm just having fun. Therefore, I play with cheats. I don't use them very often. It's only if I really have to. It's for really mundane stuff as well. 10 blocks of lava, yeah, it's easy. Simple as. You know what you do? You go into the nether, you find a lava lake. You're lazy. It's simple. Dude, this is a lazy way of doing things. You go into the nether, you make a machine that fills up lava buckets, sends them through a portal, and then on the other side of the portal, you make a machine that unloads the lava buckets and pumps them into a pit you made. Bam! Infinite lava source. I do it every create playthrough because it's simple, it's easy, and so many things need lava. Like any other method of using lava is just like absurd. So I always just do this. And building windmills all the time gets annoying. What is happening with my frame rate? Oh, it's because I opened up Modrons again. Understandable, have a nice day. I plan to. Okay, we have our blaze cakes. That is step 1 or something. Done. Next. 2 netherites. Steal and put in the pit, that's fair. We are going nether. You will install moderates? Hell yeah, get that moderates. Hell yeah. Moderates, my beloved. Oh wait, was I supposed to do a thing? Did it? What do you mean upload failed? Meteorify, you're stinky. You are stinky. Oh, it didn't work. I am so proud of you for getting moderates. So proud, so proud. Okay. Netherite. We are going to hell. Literally hell. On a hunt for some netherite scraps. I don't actually know. Oh, it might be easier to raid a bastion actually than go mining. Oh, there we go. Now it's uploaded. Hello, long time no see indeed. How are you? How we doing? Let me copy that link. And we will pop that into my about me real quick so that you may steal my mod pack if you so desire. There we go. That has been done. You've changed from Team China. Ah! Oh, I wondered why I didn't recognize the username straight away, and I'm like, well, this person must have been a regular if they introduce themselves like that. So surely it'll come to me in a minute. Hi, man. How are you? Ah, hold on. I need to actually know where I'm going. I want to find a bastion. Bastion. Bunny bee. Group nether complexes. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find one. Oh, there it is. I found one, guys. I found one. I think I'm gonna equip my shield for this, cause this. Ow. This place is dangerous. Oh, you know what I'm also gonna equip? Why am I lagging so bad? This guy. Fuck, that was the wrong button. Oh, really? Dang. Oh. Bro, I defeated the fucking ghost. I ain't scared of you, bitch. Damn. TikTok side is cool. I've never actually tried TikTok. I've always been scared that if I did... Are you gonna... Oh, you're cool? You being cool, bro? Bro's being cool, apparently. He's suddenly no longer cool. Does brass count as gold all of a sudden? brass counts as gold. That's good to know. That's wonderful information. Brass is fake gold. They are so cool with me as long as I'm wearing my brass stuff. Alright, guys. I'm okay with that. There will be a big pig. Oh, yeah, there's the big pig. I don't want to deal with him. What is this? Actually, this bastion's weird. Did I? Oh! Give me your meats. No, I've never actually messed around with TikTok because I never got it because I was absolutely terrified that because I know it's addictive. That's the whole point of it. I was absolutely terrified that my goblin ADHD brain would not cope well with being given access to... Oh, you're gonna go for me. Okay. Okay. No thanks. No thanks, mate. Nuh-uh, lads. Nuh-uh, lads. Oh shit, they're all mad at me now. Oh man. Well, that's fine. Ooh, a lodestone. Neat. Won't say no to that. Where the fuck? This is really weirdly laid out. I've not seen Bastion like this before. Maybe I modded it. I should really try harder to remember what mods I added to this. I think it would help if I knew what is going on in here. Oh, okay. Is this the end of the bastion? That can't be all of it. There has to be more bastions somewhere. Oh, there is over that way. Is that really it? Oh, that's probably true, actually. I am using Forge, but I'm actually using NeoForge specifically, but I have a extra mod that lets me, it's called Centria Connector, that, lets you use some fabric mods while having a NeoForge loader, which I think is pretty fucking neat. Oh, that's a block of gold. Can I have this, please? Oh, you didn't like that. Yeah, I love the connector. Mostly because it lets me have better end as well as my usual mods, and I love that. 1.21.1 I'm on, I believe. Definitely 1.21 of some flavor. I'm kind of lost. Oh, that's a slimy dude. I don't want to deal with that. No. 1.21. I know that for sure because I have trial chambers. Hey guys. There's no... Ooh, chains. Yes, please. I will have all of this stuff. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you very much. There's some stuff happening underneath me. I'm not sure what, but something's happening. This bastion has spawned very strangely. Is there more bastion up here, or is that... Oh, there's more bastion up that way, but I think I've already been that way. Is that... This is a weird fucking bastion. Maybe I'm just not used to this one? Is this a vanilla bastion? It is, it's a fucking weird one. Oh, there's another chest room over here. Oh, I should come at it from the other side. Hey guys. Don't mind me, I'm just coming around here so I can get at your chests. Yeah. Hey bros. Hey boys. Ow! 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 Well, that's stinky. Fucking bitch ass fucking piglin bitches. The fuck? It's okay, I have death waypoints. I'm an impatient bitch. Death waypoints and keep inventory. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Did I run out of food again or something? Bro! Chill out! Oh my goodness. I did not even run out of food. That guy's just a bitch. Oh my god, they do so much damage is the thing. And there were 3 of them in this room. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. What else? Ooh, ancient debris. That's what I wanted. That's what I was after. Someone is really upset down there. Oh, hey guys! Hi! Wow, they're mad. Wow, those guys are pissed off. I think I got all the chests in here, honestly. Netherite farm? I don't know if that's possible. I'm so sneezy. No, I don't think I can. Oh, I can get extra scrap if I give the guy a blaze cake. I may have to exploit this fact. Okay, time to go look for another bastion, I suppose. I need 2 scraps at least. I'd like 2 scraps anyway. What is that? Oh, it's a little camp in the lava? That's not a good place for a campsite, lads. Oh, hello, fortress. Ugh. Like Spike, my beloved. Can I get dungeon chests, bastion treasure, bastion other, bastion hoglet stable, enigmatic? No. My condolences. Can I get this in? No, you can only get netherite in... Okay. You can only get netherite in bastions. Okay, that's cool. No point in being here then. Ow! Fuck you. Is that what they're really called? Search by dimension. Right of the dawn? What? Oh, these are like other shit. Okay. Where is the nether? Hurry up, where's the nether? Where's the nether? Oh my god, there are so many fucking structures in the overworld. Jesus Christ. Aether, overworld, the end. No, that's all just overworld. End. Nether, here we go. We got Bastion Remnants, Citadel, Fortress, Hamlet, Nether. Nether Fossil, Nether Keep, Nether Port. Nether Skirt. This is all Nova structures. Piglin Camp, Piglin Donjon, Piglin Outstation. No, I think the Bastion Remnants is just... That's it. Okay. It's fine by me. Bastion Remnant it is. Oh, search. Here we go. No, it's still looking for that one behind me. Okay. We'll just keep heading away from it. Oh, what is that? Oh, I think this is the Citadel? Ooh. Noah's Citadel. Hello, sir! Oh my god! Holy shit! This man ain't fucking around. I'm gonna kill him. Oh, sir, you are dead. You are dead. You are dying. Why are you dead? Oh, I have to get rid of his little shields first? Oh, look at him. He's just a fucking stick. He's just a fucking stick. What the shit, bro? Come here. Come here, bro. Come here. Run away from me. You are a coward, sir. You are a coward. You are a little bitch. Neat. Oh, I can make a crown. Wonder what that does. Let's find out, I guess. Well, this was a fun side quest. That was over a little quick. I think I'm just OP. Me and my Twilight Forest tools and armor. Too powerful. Who's the new king of the Nether? I have a wildfire crown in my inventory. Don't mind if I do. Let me wear this. I'm fire resistant! Oh, baby, I'm wearing this forever. This is my new hat now. Where am I going? No more frogs but bees? I love frogs. The frogs are great. What's over here? Bye, blazes. Oh, hello. This is a big bastion. Whoa. This is a big bastion. But bees can carry packages now. What mod is that? Is that enigmatic or... No, this is not a bastion add-on. Oh, for create. Oh, so instead of the frog ports, it's like bee ports. That's kind of cute. Oh, I've not heard of that one. That's still the same one. Okay. Let's see. Wait, no, that can't be the same. Well, let's see if that's the same one, actually. Oh, I'm getting dangerous with it. Oh, jeez. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, I'm getting dangerous with it. Oh, wait, I'm fireproof. Oh, I'm fireproof. Ooh, I'm fireproof. What? Oh, I'm only a little bit fireproof? That's not permanent fireproofness? What if I put it back on? I'm only a little bit fireproof. Aw. That's not that great, but I guess since it was so easy to get, I definitely should go properly netherite mining at some point. I could make a TNT farm, maybe. I don't know how easy that would be. I think I'm definitely heading towards the same fucking bastion. No, this is New Chunks. Maybe this isn't the same bastion. Hard to say, honestly. Ow. Boy, we really have gone on some kind of a side quest. These are definitely New Chunks I'm heading towards. New Chunks I'm heading through, actually. Oh no, this is a different bastion. Okay. Okay. We getting it. Uh-oh. That's a man! Ah! Ah! They have axes! Shields are useless! Fuck! I've been killed! Damn it. I don't think that wildfire crown's very good for armor. Yeah, it happens. Okay, let's give that another shot. Death means nothing in this game, and I'm okay with that. It's deliberate, honestly. Oh, I rise again from the lava like a god. Because I am one. Oh, I pissed off all the bitches within range of me, but it's okay because I'd have pissed them off anyway. Did that guy jump in the lava with me? No, he did not. Death! Death to the man! Someone is grumbling at me, and I'm not a fan. Ooh, hello ancient debris. Hello ancient debris. Ooh, and Latos compost. Latios compost. I'm actually gonna break the chest. So I don't get confused about which ones I've looted. Oh fuck. This is not going well. Create dreams and desires, and also create connected. Is the two you're gonna want for that. Oh my god, there's like 2 of them. See, one piglin brute isn't too much of a problem. It's when there's a whole gang of them coming at me that it becomes bad news. You need create dreams and desires as well for that to work. It's kind of like a cross-mod compatibility thing. Oh, Hoglin gets stabbed by my knife. So I can make a meal out of you later. It was already installed? Oh, hell yeah. Vibes. That Hoglin coming. Oh, that Hoglin's coming for me. Cool, 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 cool. I said it was cool! Okay. It's fine. I'm actually taking this hat off and putting my good one back on. Oh my god, there's so many Hoglins down there. Oh wait, I was destroying the chests. Oh, hello! Ow! Don't do that. That's so rude. Bro is so rude. My god. Hello, Hoglins! Oh my god, there's a whole gang of them! Can I, like, come at him from underneath? Yes, I can. That's kind of funny. I gotta enchant this knife at some point. What's going on in here then? Not a whole lot, honestly. Oh, hello, Piglin on his own. What's going on up here, little bro? That's the end of the bastion up there. Little bro's so stupid. I think I got all the chests in there. I did get my second piece of netherite, so I should have enough for those. Oh, you got a crown on. You king. Hoglin. You're not Hoglins, you're Piglins. I always forget. You know what? I think Minecraft's so mean to the Piglins. They're just dudes. And yet Minecraft, anytime Minecraft is Minecrafting, it's like these guys, they're the bad guys. It's like, man, they're just kind of hanging out. Really? Like, as long as I'm wearing gold, they don't seem to care. But no, they're all like dangerous and such. Ooh. Ooh. Aucklands. Like, man, be nice. Be nice, Minecraft. Where'd I put the... Oh, I have the blaze cakes. I can use one of these. Help? Where'd that go? Okay. What the fuck? Okay. That was weird. Where's my good pickaxe? What just happened to me? Everything disappeared. Okay, that was weird. Alright, what the fuck? Anyway, let's swap this out for my wrench. We'll grab that. Oh, I put the blaze burner under this thing, didn't I? Let's grab you. You can go there. Ah. Let's just replace something else with this. Yeah, that'll do it. Now you're seething. Cook my netherite. Cook it. Cook my netherite. Yeah! I already got 2 scraps. That's fine. I am actually going to take a break. I will be back in a minute. I need coffee. I need the toilet. I'll be right back, gamers. I'll give you some more upbeat music while I'm on my break. Be right back, lads. I have returned. I'm so sleepy all of a sudden. Oh, why am I so tired? Okay, what was I doing? I was doing something. I was doing some stuff. Where's my zinc? Oh, there it is. Okay. I think we have almost all the stuff we need, actually. Because this will make my, burner stock. Is there anything else this is useful? No, it's literally just that. Oh, wait, I can smelt it to make more burner stock. What is the purpose of that? Okay, okay, we need these guys. I should have some spare windmills in here somewhere. I do not, actually. Usually I do. That's okay. I will just have to make some new ones. Do I still have sticks on me? That is the question. The age-old question. Does lemon have sticks? The answer is, I don't know. I'm looking at this and my eyes are glazing over. Not in here. In my pockets, though. That's a different story. Okay. We're just gonna carry on listening to this playlist, I'm gonna be honest. This is good. TBOYBBNO$. That's me. That's right. That's me. That's right. I am HIM, the Jesse M&M. Oh, I did have windmill sails. I'm just blind. That's fine. Is this gonna bucket the way I want it to? Oh my god, it is. I have full lava bucket. Does it work on my fuel tank? Oh, I should fill this up actually. While that's filling up, let's go craft our stuff. The lag is lagging. Why? YouTube Studio's using a lot, Lurkbait's using a lot. That's okay now. We got some blazing sails, and now we have some seething sails. Okay, wait, is this thing gonna work if I put it on here? No! Why? That's just rude. Oh well. I need to actually empty out my pockets big time. So let's actually work on doing that right now. Keep the blaze cakes on me, keep the chests. Don't need this. Don't need Gaster. Don't need any. Those can go in my quiver. Don't need Obby, don't need Netherite, don't need Mountain Cream. Do not need Lodestone, though it's nice that I have one now. I'm not complaining about having a Lodestone. That's a cool thing to have. I never usually make one, so it's nice that you can loot them. This can go away, that can go away, that can go away. Sort. Go back the other way. This stuff, I need to get my quiver and tidy up some of this stuff. Other than that, all of this stuff can all stay in my pockets for now. So that's cool. Neat! We have our seething catalyst sails, so that is cool, cool. Enderpearl farm. Next step. Ugh. Easier said than done. My arm is really itchy today for some reason. Oh, that's my tattoo. Oh, it's mad at me again. Oh, what did I do to you this time, bro? I need to put moisturizer on that. That's really annoying. That's really annoying! It's time to moisturize. What are you gonna do? Moisturize me? With acid. For context, chat, I'm currently having some sort of mild allergic reaction to my pre-existing tattoo. Don't know why. I think it's supposed to happen though. So I have to put moisturizer on it all the time, because otherwise it gets really annoying, and I've just got moisturizer all over my t-shirt. I'm gonna lose it! I have to goop. I'm gonna have to start setting a goop alarm. Like Mr. Shroom. Okay, that should stop that being quite so irritating. That's my bad. I should have done that this morning and I didn't. Because I forgot. Oh, that's so itchy. Oh my god. Maybe I should have put the other stuff on it. It's too late now. Too late now! Right. What next? There's a bunch of machines that I really want to make, and I'm honestly not sure which ones to make first. I think what we actually need to be doing right now is I need to make a... I need brass. Actually, before I do anything else, I need brass. I also think I want to automate making casings, which means that needs to become a tree farm. Which is fine, because that's what it's supposed to be, but I haven't actually made the tree farm yet, which is the problem. I think I should make the, brass farm first, which means I need a zinc farm. How do we make zinc? We can make zinc by crushing azurine. How easy is it to make azurine? That is the question. Flint and clay. Pretty damn easy. Okay. We have a machine making both of those already. That's the, this guy. Okay. But I think actually, instead of taking the gravel and the flint from here, I think I'm actually gonna... No, the flint and the clay. I think I'm gonna take the gravel and turn it into flint and clay. Which, in order to do that, we take gravel uses and turn it... We crush it into sand, and that gets us our flint and our clay. We can then actually wash the sand, which would then get us more clay. Which I think is how we're gonna get enough to make our azurine. This can go over here, I think. And then we can crush the azurine into... zinc. Essentially. There's another way to make zinc. Make toughened zinc. But I don't think that's the best way of making it. I think actually, yeah, we'll go with this route. Though, I don't know, actually. This gives me a 30% chance to get zinc. But this gives me a 25% chance to get... Wait, what was the other one? 30%? No, that's a lower chance. So this is the most... This is the best way. Because we get a high chance of doing it. This song's really good. I'm a big fan of this song. Sorry, I'm taking a hot second. I'm just kind of like processing our options here for how we're gonna go about this. Okay, so the last step is going to be washing this. Because this was a gunpowder farm. Oh, neat. Okay. I'm happy about that. Yeah, the last step here is actually washing this. So we need to create a washing setup, first of all. My arm is really itchy and I'm kind of losing the will to live right now. We will pop it. We'll pop the vaults in about the same place. Oh my god, this is like unbearable, man. It's a new bit that's itchy. Oh, that's not good. Why is that bit itchy? That bit wasn't itchy before. Oh, this better not be spreading. I'm gonna lose it. Okay. This is where our vault is going. We could have... I needed an access port. I don't know if I have a spare one, though. No. Okay. Brass casing. Do I have any brass casing? No. No, I do not. Dang it. Okay. I'm fighting for my life right now, chat. I'm sorry. Bear with me a minute. I don't know what happened when I went on break, but it kind of reset my brain in a bad way. Let me just kind of like... Right. Thinking, brain, thinking with my brain, in fact. We need an inventory access port. Well, we don't need one. I kind of want one, though. In order to get one of those, we need a... Putting that in my pockets, first of all. We need brass casing. I'm just gonna make some of these like that. I don't know how many we're gonna need. I hope it's not loads. I also need those chutes in here. We can make more, but I want these ones. Just for the sake of simplicity. Ba 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 ba. That I might actually have to turn the music off, actually. That's a bridge. I don't want a bridge. Hold on, I need to switch back to the other playlist. That's better. That was too much thinking, I couldn't do it. This guy goes here. We have a chute. I'll make it a better chute. Oh, we're not gonna have enough brass for all the sails. Shit. Maybe I should use the sails instead. Splashing catalyst sail. Those are, I think, cheaper than the other ones. Let's use the catalyst sails instead of the catalyst blocks. We'll grab our sails. I'll need some water and a lot of cardboard as well. Good thing I made a fuckload of it at some point. Okay, cool. If we just go down here and grab some water. Come back up here to our crafting table. What am I missing here? Ah. That needs to be these guys. And now we can make catalyst, splashing catalyst sail. This could honestly work better than what we have currently. At least I hope so. We'll just do this for now. Is it supposed to face that way? The direction it faces make a difference? I wonder? I honestly don't know. But there we go, we have some splashy sails. These could be quite nice, the splashy sails. Pop a crafting table here. Weave fans next. Good thing I have plenty of sheets. Propeller. Just like casing. Turn that. Oh, we need the shafts as well. Let's make a bunch of those. We'll just make a fuckload of shafts. Why the fuck not? Let's just make an absurd quantity of shafts. I can, so why shouldn't I? I have run out of andesite casing. That could be solved. Let's head down here. If we put an axe up here, that'll strip the logs for me. Neat. And then we put andesite up here. And that'll make me a bunch of andesite casings. One of the many processes I want to automate as soon as possible. We'll get brass production online first. And then we'll start automating making these guys. Oh, neat. I want to make a machine that takes in all the nuggets and splits them all up to make an equal amount of, like, bars, sheets, and another thing. Oh, and casings. Because normally I have all of those as separate machines, and I always have problems with not having enough supply to meet the demands of that many machines. But if I put it all... Hi! If I put it all in one machine, then maybe I won't have that problem. We are making a zinc farm. Or at least attempting to. I don't like how these aren't full blocks. That puts me on edge. I worry that the items are just going to be out in the open. I don't like that. Items are probably going to be coming from this direction and that direction. Assuming all of this goes to plan. Wait, which direction does the... Yeah, okay, so this coming from the back. Yeah, alright. My god, what is wrong with my fucking tattoo? It's so, like, annoying me. Think everything's going well? Hell yeah. I love it when things go well. Your mod pack! Excellent. Yeah. And mine too? Yay. I should put a disclaimer on my mod pack to run with caution, because I have what can only be described as too much RAM. So I'll just fucking do shit. No questions asked. That probably is inadvisable, in terms of like performance or whatever. Let's put these guys on. Want that. I want this on instead of that. And I also want my diving boots on instead of my Yeti shoes. Here we go. That makes this job much easier. This is not the prettiest kelp farm in the world, but it functions. Luckily, it produces so much I don't actually have to harvest it that often either. Look at my weird aether sheep. Bask in their fat sheep wonder. I love the aether sheep. Only reason I have the aether mod is so I can have the aether sheep, because I think they're so silly with how fat they get. Look at them! Look at them! You can just sink your head in there! Silly little guys, my beloved. I love the aether sheep. They're just silly little dudes. Okay, time to cook my... yeah. Do I have a spare? Oh, I do have a spare blaze burner in here. Yay! Gimme. Use that to fuel my stuff down here. Hello, blaze burner. They're not slaves. Well, maybe they are. I don't know, they seem perfectly happy in there, to be honest. Maybe yes. They don't seem to complain. I don't know, like... I don't force them to do anything. Like, yeah, they're stuck in the cages, but they don't seem bothered. You know? What do blazes even do when they're out of their cages? Just went to their house and went yoink. I mean, yeah. That's true. You are mine. That I probably have said that while capturing blazes. You are correct. Wait till you see my ghast captured machine. There's a little... You can't actually see it when it's on, but this is a chunk loader, and it has a little ghast in it. I'll take it off to show you. See? There's a little ghast in there. I went to the Nether and I captured him, much in the way you capture a blaze. He's in there. And I put him up here. And he does my... He loads my chunks. So I don't have to worry about it. Ghast is meh, but blaze? I mean, that's true. Now with our recent ghast lore of the happy ghast, ghast is kind of meh. Okay. I need some of these boys. It's my favorite way to do those crushy wheels. I love crushy wheels. My beloved. They're made of fire. That's true. Blazes are so cool. I am a big fan of the happy ghast though. I cannot wait for modding to catch up to Minecraft again. So specifically because I want more happy ghasts. I want to play with them. Obviously you can't do that till the... What the fuck am I doing? Hold on. Something's off about this. How is that powered? Oh, it's not. Interesting. I don't normally power those. But what if I did? I kind of wanna. Why not put a fourth fan on here? Why not? Ah, that might be why. No? No, that's perfect. Well, I need more wheels. Because I have to crush the azurine. Once I've made it. I don't think I have to cook the azurine though, so this machine might be simpler than I think it is. Where's my wood? There it is. Push, push, push. I feel like mechanical crafting is really underutilized. The only time I ever really use it is for the crushing wheels and not much else. I mean, I guess they're good for automating stuff, but it doesn't really force you to use them very often. Crushy wheel! It's gonna have to... The mechanical belt's gonna have to go a little further back this time. Stretch! I'm stretching! Did you like that? Was that good? I'm also drinking my coffee. I know, right? That's what happens when I get further away from my camera. If I get real close, it gets real small. Got buff, yeah. It's really weird though that when I get closer, it actually gets further away, and when I get further away, it gets closer. strange and unusual. Okay, and then making zinc. What are we doing here? So we have to crush azurine. Azurine we make by mixing these things. So literally all we need to do now, same thing as falling up and flying down. Yeah. I don't know why it does that. I think it cause when I do this, it's like it's crouching. I don't know. This is me bobbing my head backwards and forwards. Anyway, I can't do that for too long. I get lightheaded. Okay, that makes. So anyway, I need to put the azurine in there. Yeah. I also wanna... Oh, see, I've got to crush the gravel. Gravel comes in, I crush it, and then the results go into there. How am I gonna get... Unless we remove this, and this is an outlet for the... Whoops. We can make this of these and like a barrel or something. Not that I have any barrels on me. Oh, I could use a chest. I don't want to use a chest here because this isn't a full block. Fuck. I don't want any items escaping. What do I need? I want slabs so I can make barrels. I need to automate making barrels as well, my goodness. Pop a barrel there. And then this will only take in sand. Not sand, the clay. Clay goes in here. Because we're washing the sand as well. Yeah. Okay. I need to, oh, Jesus. Crush. Ow. I want some... Oh, it's storming. The fuck? I wanna... Op. This guy here, and then he'll spit out directly onto there. This guy is going to be making my azurine. Will you stop? And then if I really wanted to speed it up, I can also add 2 more either side. I might as well, honestly. That's making my azurine. Will you cease? I'll sleep. That's what I thought. Oh, so shiny. I need some way. I should make the, mixers now, actually. Because I don't want to build this whole thing and then find out that I haven't left room for the mixers, which I have done before, and it's really annoying. So we'll... Fuck! Plonk these guys. No, up here. We'll also put, that so they're all powered. Those guys are mixing my azurine. I think I might need to use mechanical arms to get the clay and the flint in there. Which is fine. So, gravel gets crushed, it makes clay and flint and sand, and then the sand gets washed, and we get more clay here. How does that clay make it over there? Could pop a conveyor under here. Clay ends up there, I guess. We need somewhere all the sand to go. Just easier said than done. Not that. Sand. Where is this gravel come? Where is this gravel come? This is a conundrum. Where to put the other set of crushing wheels? Let's go make the other set of crushing wheels. That might help, having them be real and such. Because at the moment we have too much gravel being made and not enough to do with it, so we might as well use it here instead of the clay. There we go, because I'm pretty sure if I go over to here, this thing is going to be fucking full of gravel. Yup. Because it's not getting eaten. The only thing eating the gravel is this guy. Are you full up again? No. Yes. Yes, you are? Surely not. What's going on here? Or is it finished? Oh, no, it's finished. Okay, so this thing is like done doing its thing. So that, yeah, we've got all this gravel that doesn't have a purpose right now. So I might as well use it over here instead of the clay and the flint, which is definitely doing stuff. Okay. How am I planning? Oh, unless this doesn't have to go this way. I could just have that there. Just there. That's just where that comes out, I guess. This is the storage under here, so I can't really move this. I kind of want this to continue being this big, at least. So where do the gravel wheels go? Honestly, I could pop them on the edge of this guy, maybe. Do I need more? I need more nuggies. Let's make more nuggies, shall we? More nuggies! Yes, please. I have an extra one, but that's fine. Because now that's attached. Like that. And then the wheel can honestly go here. I really hope that this wheel is to spin the same direction. Otherwise, this is still going to go horribly wrong. Ow. I mean, it could work. I don't know how I feel about these being connected, though, because that's a risk. Doing that. I don't really know where else to put the fucking wheel, though. Unless we connect that. Put a wheel like here. Oh wait, hold on. That could work actually. Because then what you do is you make it such that... Where are the chutes? Here are the chutes. You have a chute here. Where would the wheels sit if that was there? The wheels would sit here. So if you shoot here, that's where the sand comes in. Is stuff gonna hit that? Stuff might come in this. We'll put that one higher. I think we have room. Hold on. How much ceiling space do we have? I've turned off all of the rendering. That's how much. Okay. We have a... that one's too tall. Damn. It's only a little bit too tall though. Actually, I don't care about the next floor. That's whatever. If it needs to be tall, it can be tall. Okay, so if there's sand coming out there... And then anything that isn't sand can come through here. If I just make a smart chute real quick, I can go find the materials for one. Unless I already have one? No. Oh, I'm gonna need those in a minute. And that, actually. Do not need all the kelp right in my pockets. Okay. Smart chute. There. Yeah. So then anything that isn't sand comes out here. Sand isn't allowed out there. I'd rather make it so it was the other way around, honestly, but that should work. I mean, unless I put a funnel of that chute. Just to make sure it's getting sorted. Because items should go past that fine. Hopefully. Not, I guess it could make everything one higher. We'll have to test it. But then you have the wheels up here. So this needs to be taller. Oh, hello, wrench leaving my pockets. I love it when that happens. So then your wheel goes fuck there. Like that. We'll have a frog putting stuff directly in there. So clay can come out here. I could just go straight onto a depot, actually, if I really wanted it to. I might want it to. We'll have that come straight out onto a depot. Like that. And I think what I'll actually do is put a chest here. And we can put 2 depots in front of it. And this is where the other clay and the other gravel go. I'll need another brass funnel. On to my last 6 brass. Oh, jeez. That's not ideal. Here we go, brass funnel. So then, bish bash. Those go on there. And then all I really need is to find somewhere to put an arm that can reach these 3 depots. And oh, I also need to fill these with water as well. So let's do that real quick. Oh, I don't want to cover that up because that's oh, I could power it from down there actually. Let's make this where's my wood? There it is. We want this to be a pump so we can pump the water up. And then this is just gonna be like a little water trough. As soon as I can find some trapdoors to keep the water in. We'll just do some cherry ones, fuck it, am I right? Consistency? In this base? Absolutely not. That should keep all the water in once we put it down. And then that should supply all 3 of these with water. To make our azurine. We just need our mechanical arm. This needs to be vaults. I need to actually link everything together. I need a way of getting the stuff in. Let's go barrel. Let's just use this as a scaffolding block real quick. Think you can just dump shit directly into this. Lovely. We need to pop a packager on there. So let's get an iron ingot and some redstone dust and some cardboard. We will make ourselves a lovely packager. Excellent. We'll put the frog on there in a minute once I have frog materials, because I don't right now. Frog there. The frog will be on this level. So this should be a chute. I need to go make sure that I don't have any in my storage because I have a habit of putting them in the storage and forgetting about them. Shoot. Shoot. No, shoot. Excellent news. In that case, I will make a chute. Not a chute, a clutch. They begin with a ch. Clutch in there, and then we have our chain conveyor here. Chains connect those up. Cool. Now bits of this will start running. Not all of it, just bits. That is spinning outwards, which you don't want, so let's grab our inverse gear shift just to spin that the other way. Great. So now this is functional. These have also started spinning, which is a wonderful surprise. You are the one that is spinning outwards. No, you want to be spinning that way. You need to be spinning the other way, which I'm fucking lucky for. Okay, cool. Those are spinning in the correct direction. These should be fairly easy to power because all I need are 2 cogwheels. coils. Like that. Now those are spinning. Next, this conveyor. Easier said than done. What I may do... Oh, I'm in a hole. Oh, I need to power these fans as well. Eek. I dislike powering. I can pop a gearbox in here where this guy's coming. We can pop a vertical gearbox there. And then we can see if that powers this fan, and if it doesn't, we can use a gear shift. That is not going the correct way, so we will gear shift it. So now that is spinning the correct direction. We will come out here with it. I'm gonna need another gearbox. This one can be just a horizontal gearbox. That comes in there. That is spinning the correct direction on its own. And then we can do a similar thing as the other side for this guy. You are spinning the correct direction? Yes. Okay, these are all spinning the right way. And then what I can also do is, if we pop that there, we can come in here, put one of those in. Let's test if it's going the right way. It is not. So we will put... Do I have another inverse gear shift? I don't. I think I use them all. That's fine, because they're really easy to craft. It's just a cogwheel and a gearbox, and bam, gear shift. We'll replace this guy with this. And now, everything should all be spinning and in the correct direction. Delightful! That should just make zinc for me. Once we get gravel going into the barrel up there, it'll crush the gravel into clay, flint, and sand. The sand gets washed into more clay. And then the flint and clay are going to come up here to go into these three basins, which are going to mix that and the water into azurine. And then the azurine gets crushed into zinc. Yeah, I've done it. I'm a genius. My brain is so huge, chat. Oh my goodness, my large, large brain. So huge. We'll make it so this only accepts zinc nuggies. The reason why we have to wash, the crushed azurine, is because it'll actually spit out. Why is this on the playlist? I'm sorry. At what point did I decide I was going to listen to 13 recreationally? Please tell me 11 is not on here as well. Please tell me I had the sense to get rid of that. Okay, I did. No, I didn't. What was I thinking? Anywho, it spits out crushed azure. It spits out crushed zinc and zinc nuggets. But obviously, I don't want crushed zinc. I want zinc nuggets. I want it all to be nuggets. So we wash the crushed zinc with the sand, and that'll get us all nuggets. And any nuggets that we get automatically can just go straight through. And then once we have zinc and copper being made, we can start mixing them up into brass. some flint and some sand to set up my filters. Clay. Flint. Sand. Oh. Let's try again to get some sand. Fuck! Oh, I got it. Yes. Okay. I only want sand coming out here. And then we don't want sand coming out of there, so I'll make a filter for that. So I can just set it to no sand. Here we go, just a simple list filter will do, and put it on deny list. Could be flint. Oh my god! Help! Help me! Everything's fine. I sneezed. The horror. The horrors of war and sneezing. Oh, this thing needs to be powered as well. That's so simple. I can just pop 2 cogwheels down here. I also need to go and make a precision mechanism. Assuming I don't already have a spare one. I really hope I have a spare one. I don't have a spare one. Ugh. This is so sad. Don't even have a spare one, my goodness. Okay, we'll squish some ingots. Make a precision mechanism. That's the wrong button. You. I used up the depot that I normally have there, didn't I? Squish those up. We will grab a stack of shafts. And make a stack of cogwheels. And then we will grab another stack of shafts. And make another stack of large cogwheels. We'll grab a stack of iron nuggies. And then we will fill in these little guys up here. Those all can just stay there. Let's see how we do with this. The fuck? I'm worried about running out of the cogwheels and stuff. I have 25 left, that's enough for 5 more cogwheels. I do not need to worry about running out. I need to make a machine that does this more automatically, but alas, I do not have one. Just one that like flips them around without me having to It's just this bit where I have to swap them from one end to the other that's just fucking annoying. I will make a machine that does that, but not for a minute. I have to automate a bunch of other things before I can do that. Namely, the big thing I need is, where's my hat? Why am I not wearing a hat? How long have I not been wearing a hat for? I need a brass casing for this. I'll just make one. Quickly. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm gonna need a couple on. Am I? I don't actually know. Okay, let's see how this goes. We take from those and this, and we put it all in here. We pop this guy up there. One, remove to range limitations. Okay, that's fine. We'll pop this guy lower down. We can just replace this with a cogwheel, and then that should be fine. I just don't think he can reach all the way down. Fuck. Ow. There we go. It should be okay. I always get a little worried about letting these guys have multiple inputs and outputs. Or no, having different inputs and outputs. For like, letting them handle like more than one material when the output doesn't have like filtering or anything. I'm hoping it'll be fine. We'll have to see, won't we? Just gonna have to hope that I don't get anything I don't want in here. The mixers and stuff like that have a horrible tendency to take out, or no, to make stuff that I don't want them to make. I don't know why they do that. It's really upsetting though. It's a lot worse with the squishers actually, because they have a tendency to default to like packing recipes when they run out of one of the things you give them, and it's like, guys, stop, please, I didn't ask for this. They never do. Then you have to set filters. So that's how I ended up with so many gravel bricks. Do you think I craft gravel bricks on my own? Absolutely not. No, it's a fucking machine decided it was gonna give me a bunch of supplementary gravel bricks. It's like, I don't want this. Why would I want this? I didn't want that, but it made them without asking me. Oh, I need frogs. I need to make frogs. Okay, we need actually slime. I already have some ancient debris. I'll have to do stuff with that. What else did I need? What else did I need? Oh no, I forgot. I gotta andesite and just these bitches, I think. Oh no, I need to make another one of those. Okay, let's make some more barrels. Endlessly crafting barrels. That's all I ever do in the create mode nowadays. Is just craft fucking barrels. Amount of volts you need to do frog stuff. 2 frog ports. And then I need to make another receiver thing. With a lightning rod. A transmitter boy, yeah, and then a stock link. Oh, because I need those to stock up the oh my god! No, wait, this is fine. This is what we wanted. Factory gauges. Would I put this guy? Where's a link? Where's a linky? Oh, Okay, I'll just have to... I need a packager as well. Packager! Packager! Iron. Another packager. Is he gonna be able to reach that all the way up there? Oh, maybe if I put it here. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. I must admit, I did extend the length of the packages. Like, oh, he should be a send only. The length or the range on the frog port slightly. The only reason I did was because I got real sick. They only have a radius of 5 blocks, so I changed it to 8 because I just thought that was 5 blocks is really unreasonable. Gravel. Zinc. Gravel. That's what this frog's name is. I know it's a wonderful name. I'm so glad he has it. You get that, and then I connect to that network, and then this packager gets that. And then I just need a little bit of gravel to set the filter. I mean, my 12 fucking FPS. What the fuck? Oh, it's because it's doing a backup. I complain, but the backups are really good. Cannot cope with the idea of shit going wrong and me losing progress. My goodness. I play too much Sims to have that kind of threat in Minecraft as well. It's just not okay. Oh, I'm actually gonna set this to only... Okay, I've already set it to only do 16. Come here. Come here, stock ticker. Ugh. Give it a target. Yes. And then I would like you to... Let's start with you getting 1 stack of gravel every... No. 4 stacks. No, we're starting with 1 stack. Why is it just sitting on top? Are these both spinning the wrong way? I'm gonna lose it. Oh, I'm gonna lose it. Now it's doing stuff. Okay. We have sand being washed. And... Okay, we don't have enough clay or flint here for anything to happen. Some of these have clay and some of these have flint in. None of them have both. Eventually it'll decide to put clay in everything, right? All the things in everything? There's no water in it. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. It's kind of important putting water in the machine. Oh, some of these bitches are doing things. Yeah, okay, I think these guys need, separate... Oh no, it seems to be working okay. I think I actually need more gravel coming in, but it is functioning. We are getting zinc nuggets being created, which is very much the important thing. I'm gonna make it so that this guy gets more gravel at a time. Actually, let's set it to 9, because that's the limit one package can do at a time. I think I'm probably gonna set this so that it has 2 arms. One of them does flint, one of them does gravel. I think that's what I'm gonna do now. But it is working for now. So that is the important thing. I need to squish 2 of these, turn one of these into a casing. I think we have just enough brass left to make another arm. Just about. And then I think we'll be done for brass until it makes more. Oh, I need to squish 2. Is it 2? Is it 2 brass sheets you need for an arm? It's 3. Oh my goodness. Literally just enough. By the skin of our fucking teeth, we have the perfect amount of brass to make 1 more arm. My goodness. Okay. Just for the moment, we're going to take this guy off. This guy is going to do flint. Oh no, this guy's doing flint. Deposits to all of these. Put him there. And then this guy does the gravel. No, the clay. Oh my god, I'm losing it. I'm losing it, guys. I am absolutely losing it. There we go. Now they're all getting the same amount of clay and flint between all 3 of the mixes. And we are getting so much zinc. Oh my god. Okay. I would like to make an iron farm really quickly. I honestly don't think it'll be that big. Like, all it has to be is literally just crushing wheels and gravel going in. And that's it. So I'm actually gonna... No, it doesn't. It just needs to be a washer washing some gravel. That's literally it. I would like to... I think I want to go back to the... Oh, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the sails. I just don't like how skinny they are. I don't like the feeling that the items can fall out of their fan chamber where they are fanned. Am I getting gunpowder from this? I don't appear to be. Oh. This doesn't let... This only lets the nuggies through, and we're getting stuff that isn't nuggies. Okay, okay, I need to make it so anything except... so we don't let... Where are my nuggies? These, there we go. What I'm making a list filter. And I'm just gonna set it to disallow sand. And crushed zinc. Don't have any crushed zinc on me. Fuck. Sorry. Oh? No. No, there isn't. Oh dear. Okay. Just steal it. That's a nugget. I wanted a crushy zinc. Please. Please can I have a crushy zinc? Please? Please give me a crushed zinc. Yeah, there we go. These guys can go back. Okay, no sand, no crushed zinc. And now we can get gunpowder. This is also a gunpowder farm, which I think is really sick. We got gunpowder in here. Hell yeah. Big brain moves. Okay, this is the zinc farm. Done. Look at how blue the water is in there. kind of absurd. It's like so blue and pretty. Man, this game's so pretty. I kind of can't wait for the vibrant visuals thing. Oh, I don't know whether it's Bedrock only. I kind of want to see what the game is like with built-in shaders. I think that'd be really sick, honestly. I hope they're good. I hope the shaders are good. Ah! I fell into a hole! The reason there are holes everywhere is because I don't have enough lapis to fill in the floor. I made a very expensive floor without having enough expensive materials. I managed to fill in all the golds though, so that's something. Oh, I love it when I've built new machines and I can watch them fill up with stuff. It's great. Look at all the copper in there. I hope it doesn't fill up. Oh, I need to make a thing to stop them filling. Oh, I don't have any brass. Okay. We need to deal with the brass and the copper. What? Why do the nuggets not come up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The reason I'm counting them out like that is because I don't want to bother grabbing anything that's going to be less than a full stack of the ingots. Oh, this is the good bit at the end theme. How did I... Oh, it's full. Okay. That's fine. Quiver full of arrows, if only I used them. Put some of this stuff away, shall we? Where did I get blaze rods from? Oh, we went to the nether. Yeah, that would do it, wouldn't it? Bow, wow, wow. Bow, wow, wow. Ow, wow, wow, wow. Do, do, do. Oh, yeah. Oh, my eyes are glazing over. No, don't glaze over eyes. I have things to do. My god, look at all the nuggies. We gotta... I think next stop is to... As soon as we have some brass, I would like to make... Oh, right, okay. A machine that just makes... Oh, fuck. I would like to make a machine that just takes the nuggets of all these ores and turns them into, ingots. I don't want to have nuggets kicking around everywhere. It's not very useful. I need... There we go. But first I'm gonna make a bunch of brass. Here we go. Here we fucking go. Yeah. Wow. Are you used to have stairs there, so I didn't have to do that thing where I have to aim. I don't know what happened to my stairs. There used to be stairs there. What the fuck happened to the stairs? Blah. And now we wait for our zinc and our brass to cook and such. Chat, I'm so sleepy today. I do not know why. Maybe I do know why. Maybe I'm just a particularly sleepy individual. I am gonna turn all of my shit into brass, because the brass is more useful than anything else I can... Especially the zinc. I love zinc, man, but you don't use it for a lot. What actually do you use zinc for? Oh, I can make chains out of it. I use it to make copycat stuff. A lamp. Yeah, zinc does not do... A lot of this is not base create. Like, yeah, it has tools, it has armor. None of this is base create. None of this is base create. You can make a block out of it, cool. This is base create. These aren't, though. This is. That's it. You can make chains out of it. It's basically just a budget iron replacement. Which is fine. Like, I'm not mad at it for being an iron replacement. But yeah, there's no point me worrying about running out of zinc because... Well, number one, we just built a farm for it, and number two, it's not really used for a whole lot of stuff. So it's not actually that useful. I'm actually gonna squish one of these. Oh, I might turn another one into, casings, actually. Since I've got so much brass and copper. Here we fucking go. Yeah, look, I've still got 2 stacks of copper left to make into brass. Yoosh. Bump. I should put some beans in this guy. Instead of using all this coal. Hold on, let me go find some beans for him. Hold on, bro. Can I put a bucket here? Yes. Let's get some beans for my boy. Hey, sir. There we go. Now, once he runs out of coal, he'll use the beans and burn for ages. I'm very sleepy, chat. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stream for, actually. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I did stream earlier today. I am almost at 4 hours. I'm not used to streaming for this long either. I may just... stop streaming soon. Chill out for a bit. In fact, you know what? I think I'm gonna do that now, honestly. I think I'm finished for today, chat. I think I'm alright. It's a sudden decision, I know, but I've just reached the point where I'm okay. with being finished streaming. Let's see, who is streaming right now? Is Himbo streaming? No, Himbo's not streaming. Who's been up for the least amount of time? Oh, Angelica's streaming. Oh, let's raid Angelica. I like Angelica. She's friends with mutual friend is my literal best mate ever. So if he likes her, then she must be chill. Because I like him. So surely that's how that works. Anyway, chat, I will see you all on Wednesday, I believe. I'm not sure what I'll be streaming. I think I'm gonna try stream something that isn't Minecraft or Peak for once. Because I've been streaming a lot of those recently. I think I just need to do something different. So it might be a new game, or it might not be. It might be an old game that we just haven't played in ages. I don't know. I think I want something new. So I'll have a think about it. I'm so tired. Why am I so tired today? My God. Anyway, I'm gonna raid Angelica. Let's actually press the raid button. Let's raid the girl boss, Angelica. I will see you all on Wednesday. I love you all. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye.